You are now in tune with
Mamba Radio.
What up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into Brown Mamba Radio. For those out there who don't know, my name is Jackson, and happy Monday to everybody out there. Happy Rusev Day. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed your weekend. I know I did. I was at a Royal Seco weekend this past weekend, and it was just goosebumps the whole time for me. I got to see a lot of great performances, but I got to see my favorite group of all time, the Specials. And it was just goosebumps for me the whole time. I never thought that I'd get to see them live, and like I said, it was just great to see. I also got to see the fucking legend Neil Young. Like I said, it was a great weekend for me. I know there was a lot going on this past weekend, so hopefully, like I said, you guys all enjoy whatever you guys did this weekend. And also, I want to say sorry for not having any episodes or anything last week. I just started a new job, so I had to prioritize that. I'm sorry again, but I still paid attention to everything that was going on. Like I said, just because I didn't post anything or get any content really up, doesn't mean I wasn't looking or wasn't listening and stuff. So this episode is gonna be I'm gonna try to breeze through the highlights of what happened last week because enough's been already said about it, and a little bit of mainly from last week, a little bit from this weekend, and then, like I said, just trying to get myself back on track. So let's go without further ado. Starting with baseball this time, just because the Dodgers are staying so red freaking hot right now. They won their series against the Giants 2-1. Lost the series against the Cubs, but they had the rain out. It was kind of a little wonky and stuff like that. First series of the road trip. But they're getting a revenge series this week. So, like I said, hopefully they can get a little redemption there. And then they swept the Mets out in New York, baby. Big time sweep. And like I said, they are staying red freaking hot, just crushing the ball. And it was all, I guess, their reign of terror lately can be summed up, I guess, in last night's game, or yesterday's game, excuse me, where they scored 8 runs on 8 solo home runs. And it just shows you that everybody is hitting the ball. I know Bellinger has been crushing the ball. Kemp's been crushing the ball. Kemp, the only guy who's in the All-Star starter right now for the Dodgers, excuse me, and just a great comeback story for Kemp. Kemp's crushing the ball. Bellinger's crushing the ball. Muncy's crushing the ball. Peterson's crushing it. Turner's finally finding his groove too. Like I said, everyone's just crushing the ball. And like I said, it's not just the long ball. They're playing smart baseball as well. And like I said, it's just they got to stay white hot, man. The only thing that can really stop them at this point, I think, is the All-Star break, which is coming up soon. But like I said, even then, when that'll happen, it'll be a nice little break for them to just kind of cool off a little bit. Rehab it as they need, and like I said, try to figure out what to do with the bullpen going forward. They're back home now after the week on the road. They got the Cubs in like I said, redemption series against the Cubs. Hopefully they can come out on top in that one. Like I said, it'll be a great series. I'm gonna try to make it to a game or two in that one. And they also got the Rockies too. So at the end of the week. So let's try and see if they can catch or even pass the D-backs. I know the D-backs are playing a little bit better themselves. But yeah, let's see if they can, try to close in on that lead. They're second in the NL West now. If you thought about that at the beginning of the year when they were at the bottom of the NL West and just seeing how far they've come, like I said, just shows a testament to this team. Yeah, so from the Dodgers to the Angels, still stuck in kind of the same spot, really, in the standings. They're third, I believe. Still third. But 10.5 games back on the Astros. Man, like I said, they've just been sliding. They had that huge slide, a few weeks ago. Or that started a few weeks ago, excuse me. And like I said, they've been trying to play catch up ever since. They just gotta, I don't know, they gotta figure it out, they and then they're right about now, they're just playing like dead even. They're 4-6 in their last 10 games, They're right around 500 with their season average right now. Their season series, they're 41-37. Like I said, then they split with the D-backs and they split with the Blue Jays. So like I said, they're just like kind of right around the middle at this point, and it's kind of tough. It's tough right now. Like I said, I know they got a lot going on with them. Like I said, Trout is playing amazing. There's you don't have to say that, but like I said, there's some guys are hot, some guys are not. Like I said, they got a little bit of trouble in paradise over there with Otani-san, and it looks like they're trying to wait this thing out and avoid him having to get Tommy John, because again, I mean, it would take him out. They said it would take him out for 2 years. They're gonna like reevaluate and do all this other stuff, but I mean, it's if all signs seem to be pointing that he needs the surgery, and just in my opinion, like I said, I'm no expert or anything, but in my opinion, he's still young. I know he's been playing well, and they need all the help they can get. But like I said, he's still young, and you don't want to ruin his potential by delaying this process. And like I said, I just think if it's almost inevitable that he needs it, and I just think they need to stop wasting time. Like I said, that's just my opinion. Like I said, it's just kind of. Like I said, I know it's a really, really, really tough situation, because they want to have him on this team. They need him on this team, as we've seen. So, but like I said, it's tough. It's tough for them. But they got a random game with the Royals tonight. Then they got a tough series on the road against the Red Sox, and then they can. Based on how well or not well they do against the Red Sox, try to maybe bounce back or keep the momentum going with the Orioles. Another really, really slumping team. But yeah, man, like I said, they gotta find a way to figure it out. They gotta find a way to get it done. And there's really not much else to say with that. So that's baseball, basketball. A lot going on with basketball. Most obviously, the NBA draft that happened. Like I said, I'm just going to preface this, I don't know shit about college hoops. I don't really follow the college basketball. I'm just a casual fan, with, the March Madness and the tournament and all that stuff. I gamble on all that and watch that stuff. But, it's just to me, as someone who, like I said, just a casual college goer or college viewer and stuff like that, but someone that just follows basketball pretty closely and then, and all this stuff, follow the different drafts and all that stuff. Like I said, just for me personally, I don't think that this is going to be a very impressive draft class at all. Other than maybe Luka Doncic, and that's a maybe Marvin Bagley, Mo Bamba, maybe those guys. I'm not sure. But I just think that there's like people are trying to make all this hype around, and I get it. They're trying to hype everything up so you can tune in to watch it so they can get money. I know all that. But I just feel like maybe in like 5-10 years, maybe even less than that, we'll look back and at this draft class and wonder why we made such a big deal about them. It's like all the top prospects are big guys, and not really like Karl Anthony Towns big guys or Porzingis big guys, where you know what I mean, like these there's not really like there's a lot of big guys, but not a lot of quote unquote unicorns. I hate using that term, but that's just the best way to explain it. The unicorns in this draft, and everyone was just making a big deal about all these big guys, and it's like, have people not been watching basketball for like the last 6 years? Like these kind of big guys, they're more quote unquote traditional big men, and not a lot of teams have them anymore. DeAndre Ayton went number 1. Like I said, I'm sure he's good. But it's just like they kind of they already had one of those guys with Alex Len. They took a chance on a guy like that with Alex Len. Didn't work out. Like I don't know much about this guy Ayton. I'm not comparing him to Len, but all I'm doing is comparing the type of pick that they made. So, like I said, he went number 1 overall. Bagman Marvin Bagley went to the Kings. And I feel the guys I feel bad for the most are Marvin Bagley and Mo Bamba, just because it's like you could see the potential with these guys, but that like they went to the wrong team. They went to the worst possible teams they could have went to in the Magic and the Kings, and I hate seeing that happen. Hopefully they can just get out of the rookie, just deal with it, get out of the rookie deal and get out of there, because it's just you hate to see talent wasted in these shitty ass places like Sacramento and Orlando. Um, then but the biggest one, or the biggest thing from the draft, was obviously the Luka Doncic steal. I'm gonna say, and a lot of people are saying the huge steal that they made, or that the Mavericks made in being able to get him. Essentially, for just all he did was swap picks with the Hawks and a first rounder next year, which is probably not going to be that great of a pick for the Hawks, considering that Luka Doncic, in my opinion, I think he should have went number 1 overall. And he's going to be good, man. Like I said, he's going to be, and if he's not good, then that's fine. I guess, you can come after me all you guys want, but he's going to be freaking good. He's just got he's got it. You can see it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't take a genius to see this guy's pretty damn good. And to be the best player in a league when he's like 18 or 17 years old, that was as good as the league he was in. And essentially for the Mavs to steal him for nothing, pretty freaking crazy. Pretty freaking crazy. Like I said, call me crazy, but like I said, I think, like I said, that he's the best player in this draft by far, and the Mavs got a fucking steal with this. But like I said, just going through the rest, like I said, there's not a whole lot of guys who are going to make a big impact, in my opinion, like I said. But like I said, what do I know? I don't know shit about any of this stuff, so, like I said, what I know. But keeping it with the hometown teams, the Lakers and the Clippers, the Lakers, they got Ivica Zubac Part 2, and Mo Wagner, and people are trying to. I know that I get the player comparisons. I'm not. They're just comparing the type of game that they play, but they're not saying that they'll be this kind of person. I know a lot of Jalen Rose got a lot of shit for that a couple years ago for making the comparisons. All they're trying to do is compare the types of games that they have. They're not saying that they'll have that kind of career. But with that being said, Chauncey Billups compared this guy Mo Wagner to Mehmet Okur, and that is a fucking disrespect to Mehmet Okur, who was great, a great player. And the difference is, this guy, at least from my opinion, from what I can see, this guy Mo Wagner is just a traditional big man who just happens to be able to shoot because it's 2018 and everybody has to be able to shoot. When, in contrast, Mehmet Okur was a true shooter who just happened to be like 7 feet tall. So because he's tall, they just taught him big man moves. But Mehmet Okur was the original stretch, like one of the original stretch big men, where he was, like I said, he was just a natural shooter, like in the mold of like a, not saying he's a same, but in the mold of like a Corver or like just a he's a shooter. You know what I mean? But like I said, he just happened to be 7 feet tall. And like I said, that is just the wrong type of comparison. He's just Ivica Zubac with a 3-point shot. That's pretty much it. And like we already have him, so like I guess we can say bye-bye to Zubac, which sucks because I think he's pretty good. And they also got this guy Isaac Bonga, who's a pet project of theirs that they're gonna work with. He's like a tall guard. And then they also got this guy. Here we go, Svi Mikhailik. I butchered that. I'm sorry, but he's a guard from Kansas, who's from the Ukraine, and he's a 3-point shooter, I guess. So that's good. The Lakers need that. A 6'8" guy who can shoot threes. Shit, sign me up, player. So that was who the Lakers took. Excuse me. Clippers. They had those 2 lottery picks. They traded away one of them. But in the end, they ended up getting guard Jerome Robinson and the other guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA. Like I said, I don't know anything about these guys. All I know is that SGA, people liked him for his versatility, and Jerome Robinson, one of my friends told me, was just a power dunker guy in the mold. Just like if you were to pick him in 2K, he'd be the athletic type. If you're creating a player, so. Which is fine, I guess, but I mean, shit, dude. Now the Clippers needed depth at the front court, and they got more guys in the back court. They already have, Austin Rivers, and they already have Patrick Beverley. They already had those other guys. I mean, they're not great, I know that, but their top players were guards, and they don't have any big men other than DeAndre Jordan. So, I mean, I don't know what was going on there. I don't know what's going on with the Clippers. I know that Doc Rivers isn't really running teams anymore like that, but like I said, I mean, we'll have to see. I guess like I said, I don't know much. I don't know enough about these guys to be able to have a full opinion. All I know is that, like I said, Lakers. I like that Scott that Svi guy. I think he can be good. They can keep him off the bench. Mo Wagner, and it seems like with the Mo Wagner thing, it was more of like they had, conspiracy theory out there is that it's because Pelinka's a Michigan guy and this dude Mo Wagner's from Michigan, so that's why he took him. But like I said, I'm not too high on him. I'm wondering how many games. I'm pretty sure he's going to start his season off in the D League or the G League, excuse me. And then again, just more guards for the Clippers, I guess. And like I said, the Clippers over the years have been notorious for drafting average guards. But then again, they did have to draft in the later part of the first round and stuff. So like I said, this is the first time in a while that they've had to pick in the lottery. So like I said, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, finishing up with the NBA. Big news from today. That the Lakers, are trying to get Paul George, as everybody knows, and it looks like he's going to go there. All roads point to him coming to LA. And they, all these teams, they make all these these pitch interviews, and they have these pitches for the players. And it sounds like the video pitch that the Lakers made for PG was, and I'm using extreme air quotes here, was leaked to Sports Illustrated. And like I said, I use the big air quotes there just because, it's like I said, it's almost a foregone conclusion that Paul George is going to the Lakers. So might as well just blow all this stuff out, and make it as big a spectacle as possible to try and get as much hype surrounding it as they can to make a little bit more money off of it and stuff. But yeah, man, these things just don't get leaked like that. So like I said, and then like I said, all roads are pointing to LA for Paul George. Especially now, like I said, breaking news, air quote, like not breaking news, but I just saw right before I started recording on Twitter that it looks like Paul George is going to be doing a 3-part series with ESPN and SportsCenter, documenting his free agency journey, similar to the mold that I guess Chris Paul did last year. And it's like, why would you do this if you're going to stay in Oklahoma? You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty obvious. Like, if you can read the tea leaves, or between the tea leaves there, it's a foregone. It's more than likely he's coming to LA. So, Paul George, welcome to LA. You are not coming back home because you live in Palmdale. You're from Palmdale, so you are welcome to LA. And hopefully LeBron and Kawhi follow you here. You know what I mean? So, because it looks like LeBron's coming to LA as well. Brian Windhorst saying that it looks like it's narrowed down to 2 choices for LeBron: just LA or staying in Cleveland. And more signs are pointing to him coming to LA. And just like I said, the more the merrier. Come on over, boys. We need all the help we can get. You know what I mean? And they're free agents too, so we don't got to lose anybody. You know what I mean? I don't want to lose Kuzma. I don't want to lose Lonzo. I don't want to lose Ingram. I don't want to lose Randall. Don't want to lose a lot of these guys. You know what I mean? But if we have to let go Randall and Ingram, I understand. But a lot of the other guys, but Kuzma and Lonzo, I don't want to lose those guys. But like I said, just the more the merrier, baby. Hop on this Laker bandwagon. We need it. And also, in NBA news, kind of, I guess I could have piggybacked this off with the draft, but Puma making some big noise with their hoops department. Coming in big time. They signed Jay-Z to be the president of basketball operations, is what they're calling it. Came in huge. Made big signings. They signed all these young guys, and with Ayton and Bagley and Zaire Smith and Rudy Gay, not a very young guy, but he's with Rock Nation Sports. So like I said, that was the next kind of thing, is like they're trying to build trying to create their brand as opposed to piggybacking and poaching other guys from other brands and stuff, which is smart. I appreciate what they're doing. And like I said, they really know what they're doing as far as like trying to build this brand. They've partnered with, from what I understand, Mike Sherman from Chinatown Market, which they came with that fire-ass merch. But their social media presence is great. They really understand the branding. And like I said, I'm pretty sure that they've partnered with Mike Sherman, who's a great marketer himself. Mike Sherman of Chinatown Market, like I mentioned. He's been in other brands. He used to work at Nike. He did a bunch of stuff. Like I said, just understands branding and marketing in the new era. And so, like I said, they're just killing it right now. And like I said, their momentum kind of got halted with those booth shoes that they had. But it's all good. Like I said, I think that was just the first one that they're coming out with. I don't know. Like I said, and then but like I said, the make or break for Puma hoops is, no matter how cool their social media stuff is, no matter how cool their logos and their branding and how cool, everything around it seems, like I said, because not only did they sign the players, but they also signed a lot of like hip hop artists, stuff like that. I think they got The Weeknd, they got Big Sean, obviously they got Rihanna, and but what's make or break for them is if they come out with ugly shoes. Like they cannot have an ugly pair of shoes. It doesn't matter what, as long as they look cool, that's all they need to go for. So like I said, that's all their focus should be on, is just making their first hoop shoe look cool, because that Clyde redo that they did is, I'm sorry, it's not that great. But like I said, what do I know? I that's why I'm sitting at my desk in front of a microphone on my laptop and not, working for Nike or Puma or whatever, designing shoes. But yeah, last thing from the NBA, like I said, there's a whole lot going on from basketball. Last thing was the Dwight Howard trade. Pretty big news. What happened came out last week. He was going to be traded to the Nets for Mozgov and two second round picks. And side note, I do not know what Mitch Kupchak's obsession with Timofey Mozgov is. I do not understand it at all. If you don't know, Mitch Kupchak is now the general manager and stuff of the Charlotte Hornets. And after a couple years of taking a couple years of not working as a GM, he was with the Lakers before that, and his last swan song, his last fucking hand grenade that he dropped in Lakerland was giving Mozgov this massive deal for no apparent reason. And like I said, I don't know what his obsession with Mozgov is, but he's got one, and I hope I can find somebody to love me as much as Kupchak loves Mozgov. But back onto the Dwight thing. So he got traded to the Nets for Mozgov and 2 second round picks. Everyone's like, wow, that's pretty intense, blah, blah, blah. But it turns out that he got bought out by the Nets, which not a good thing when the Nets of all teams want to buy you out because they don't want you to play for them. So, Dwight is officially a free agent, officially has fallen from grace. No team for him right now at this point, but no sympathy from this guy for Dwight at all. If you know me personally, I haven't really had a chance to talk about him, I don't think, on this pod that much, but if you know me personally, you know how much I dislike Dwight Howard, both on and off the court, and there's just nothing but, there's a ton of stories out there to back this up. To back up that reasoning, everything he did, the way he handled leaving Orlando, to the way that he, had a chance to really have an impact with Kobe here in LA, and just chose not to, for selfish, stupid reasons. When and everything that happened, and there's just stories everywhere he's gone, just being a bad teammate on and off the court. In the locker room, most infamously, the story was how the 2008 U.S. Olympic team, I think, all the players could not stand being around Dwight, and all they said was, we'll play in the Olympics next year or the next time. It's just as long as Dwight Howard is not there, you need to promise us that. And if he's there, none of us are going to be there. So, like I said, he only did this to himself. He only did this to himself. And like I said, no sympathy for me. Like I said, hopefully he lands on his feet. You always hate to see somebody, not have a job or anything, but, especially when someone's got, a ton of mouths to feed, if you know what I mean, by me saying that. And, you always want to see, you hate to see someone do horrible, but at the same time, like I said, he did it to himself. He did this to himself. There's rumors he might be going to maybe the Warriors, which is not going to happen. They don't want. Trust me, I guarantee the Warriors do not want to ruin what they got going on by bringing on Dwight. Like I said, best of luck to him. But at the same time, I could care less whatever happens to him. So yeah, that was hoops. I'm about halfway done here. Oh, wrestling. I gotta talk about wrestling. Money in the Bank happened. Quickly running through it, just to get caught up with everything. The stuff I don't care about from Money in the Bank: Blood and Brothers, Roman Reigns, Jinder Mahal. Don't care about that shit. Daniel Bryan beat Big Cass, and then Big Cass was later released. Not Future Endeavor this time, so that's odd. So like I said, there must have been some kind of bad blood there. But Big Cass no more. And then Bobby Lashley beat Sami Zayn finally the end to a very, 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 very stupid feud. But it looks like this was done so that way it can help write Zayn off of TV, because it's apparent that he's in the midst of the rest of the year with double shoulder surgery. He has to get surgery on both shoulders. Apparently he's been working injured for quite some time now. So hopefully he can take this time off, get healthy, recover up, and hopefully come back. And when he comes back, he'll be a big fan favorite. It'll be a huge pop, and it'll hopefully he can rejuvenate his career and get into a bigger, nicer feud or something like that. So, like I said, best of luck to Sami Zayn in his recovery. And then also with Lashley, apparently Lashley might face Brock next. I don't know. That's kind of the little rumors going around here. So we'll have to wait and see with that. Carmella beat Asuka thanks to James Ellsworth returning and causing a distraction. He came out dressed up as Asuka, and everyone knew it was James Ellsworth and stuff, and it was topped off by the worst wink in history. Like I said, apparently for now Ellsworth is back as far as we know. I like all the huge heat that Carmella's got on her. I just don't like that it's at the expense of, Asuka and Charlotte and all these other, these is just incredible, nothing against Charlotte. Nothing against Carmella, but like I said, you cannot compare their talent in the ring, like I said, to Charlotte and Asuka and stuff. So, I don't know where this is going. Hopefully, like I said, Asuka gets the come up and she deserves, because like I said, she is one of the best, and like I said, we'll build to that. Hopefully there's a better feud or something. So yeah, there was that. Rollins beat Seth Rollins, beat Elias, and after a great match with a really weird finish, it was where Seth Rollins rolled up Elias and then grabbed the tights to win. So, like I said, I thought it was just weird that they had him cheat to win like that. But then the following night on Raw, which was great, by the way, SmackDown was also just as great. So kudos to them for having probably the first time this year where both Raw and SmackDown were great at the same on the same week. But then the following night on Raw, Seth Rollins had an open challenge to anyone, and Dolph Ziggler came out, and Dolph Ziggler won. Won the IC belt from Seth Rollins in the same way. Rolled him up and grabbed the tights. A little poetic justice there. But yeah, now Dolph Ziggler is your new Intercontinental Champion. And I don't know what this means going forward. Because like I said, there's just a lot of questions with them with this now. It's does does this mean there's a Rollins and Dolph Ziggler feud? Because there's going to be he's instating his rematch clause, I believe, tonight on Raw is when they're going to have the match. But also people are speculating that maybe this was a way to get the belt off of Rollins so he can go move on to bigger, better things and maybe contest for the Universal title. But then also, does this mean that now there's going to be a Dolph Ziggler and Elias feud coming up? Because Elias can come out and do the whole thing where he's like, listen, man, I had that belt won, but I got screwed out of it because Rollins had to cheat to win, so that could be coming on. I'd like to see a Dolph. That'd be great for both guys, Ziggler and Elias. We can have that new feud. But then also, what does this mean for for Drew McIntyre? Does he stick around and be, like Dolph's enforcer, or people are speculating he could also maybe like turn on him and try to take the belt from him? Who knows? But like I said, I like it. I like it. You know, it's a good question. It's good questions to ask. Good problem to have. And then all wrapping things up here with wrestling. You know, it was a great last standing match with AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. The match itself was great. You know, AJ Styles won. A lot of people were kind of upset with that. I thought that because we all thought that Shinsuke should have won. One, because he deserved it. And two, because he would have made a great heel champion all the way through the summer. They could have had a rematch, you know, at Extreme Rules. You know, they could have had some other, you know, they could have done it, booked a lot of different ways for, especially for, you know, maybe have AJ Styles, you know, win it back at SummerSlam or something. Like I said, if there was a time to take the belt off AJ Styles, it would have been right now. But it looks like the rumor is that they want to keep the belt on AJ Styles right now because he's the new cover guy for WWE 2K19. Which, like I said, I get and I understand, but at the same time, I hate when they do that kind of stuff, you know. But whatever, you know. Like I said, I don't know what this means for AJ Styles. I don't know who he's gonna face next. But then, like I said, it sucked for Shinsuke Nakamura, but it looks like he's gonna start a feud with Jeff Hardy, and implying that it might be for the U.S. title, which I forgot that Jeff Hardy was the U.S. champion. So I mean, at least there's that. Maybe he can win that title or something. I don't know. But like I said, it was kind of, like I said, it feels like it feels like they're gonna split this feud up, but I don't think it shouldn't be done yet because they still have great matches that they can have. There's great matches for them to be had. The next one would just be an Iron Man match and let them go. 60-man Iron Man match, New Japan style, just hard hits and strong style and all that crazy stuff. So there's that. There was that. And then now with the big Money in the Bank matches, with the women's side, Alexa Bliss won the women's Money in the Bank match. A lot of people thought Natalya was going to win, so that with the whole thing that there was rumors of her doing the thing with Ronda Rousey. I personally, and I guess everybody in Chicago, really wanted Becky Lynch to win because we feel that one, she deserves it, and two, she could have really used it to help her out because, like I said, she deserves it, and I love Becky Lynch so much. Becky Lynch, if you're listening, I love you so much. But Alexa won. And initially, I wasn't a fan of that happening, but the way everything played out, I was able to take a step after the way everything played out. It was perfect the way they did it, man. Because Alexa Bliss cashed it in later that night, in arguably the match of the night, which I'll segue to, I guess, with the Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey, which was great, and also Ronda Rousey, man, there's a lot of hoopla around, you know, whether or not she can stay or hang in the WWE, but she did a great job in that match. She's done great at WrestleMania. Like I said, she gets it, man. She gets it, and she's only gonna get better from here. Put on a great match with Nia Jax, but like I said, and they booked it perfectly, where Alexa Bliss interrupted the match and had perfectly done, like I said, perfectly executed, where she hit Ronda Rousey. So that way Ronda Rousey gets the win by DQ, but the belt stays on Nia Jax. Helps, and then she had to get, and then Alexa Bliss just keeps beating her up with the briefcase, knocks her out of contention. It also helps, and then she started beating up Nia Jax, cashed in on Nia Jax while she was still the champion. Great moves. Now Alexa Bliss is your new champ. Like I said, so many things went right here. Alexa Bliss is the new champ. Keeps all her super heel heat that she has. Still makes Ronda Rousey look strong because she got the win, even though it was via DQ, but she had to get beat up with a foreign object in order to keep her away. And then also the fact that she wore out Nia Jax so much that it helped Alexa Bliss get an easy, quote-unquote, win over Nia Jax. And also it progresses that feud that they've got going on. So like I said, once I took a step back and looked at everything, they booked this thing perfectly. And it all kind of culminated with her, and also extended into Monday night when they had that great segment where Ronda Rousey just took out all her frustrations and beat everybody up, and got suspended for 30 days. Genius booking there. You know, maybe she can go work on some stuff in the Performance Center. She can work on her mic skills, and she can do all that stuff. You know what I mean? So like I said, keep her off TV for 30 days. That's great. Genius. So good on WWE creative and booking for that, because like I said, they did that perfectly. And then finally, the men's Money in the Bank match, Braun Strowman won, which is cool, and I get it, but he's the only guy who did not need that briefcase, man. He didn't need it to be over. He was going to be over no matter what, and just adding to the year of Braun with this, he's now won the Money in the Bank match. He won the 50-man Royal Rumble, or the greatest Royal Rumble. He won the tag championships with a kid at WrestleMania. Like I said, just the year of Braun. It's probably going to be culminated with a Universal Championship win. But he already just straight up said, like, I'm going to cash it in on Brock and blah, blah, blah. And so, like I said, it kind of ruins the mystique of the briefcase with you don't know when he's going to cash it in, and that kind of stuff, where, if they gave it to a guy like Kevin Owens, he could have been a heel and been dastardly with it and turned it in, when somebody was down. But like I said, there's the theories as to why they're doing it like this is kind of also to help add to the mystique of Brock as well, since he's not on TV and stuff anymore. And it's kind of like one of those things where, so Braun Strowman said he's going to cash it in on Brock. He's going to cash it in on Brock, and he's not like, hiding it or anything. He's like, I'm going to do it when you're around. I'm going to do it, and we're going to have the match. And so I guess that adds to the thing with Brock, where we don't know when he's going to show up. We don't know where he's going to show up. And it's like, if he does show up, then we know we're going to get that Braun Strowman match. So like I said, that's kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, overall, it was a good match. There's a lot of great matches, a couple of bad ones that just don't care about. And overall, it's a good pay-per-view. I don't know why I don't know what this means for SmackDown, considering they don't get any briefcases or anything, or they don't got a briefcase from SmackDown. So, like I said, it was good. And like I said, great Raw and SmackDowns, following them, like I said. And so, like I said, it's, only up from here, I guess, like I said, things are heating up. We got Extreme Rules coming up, then SummerSlam. So, it's pretty, things are looking up for WWE. If they can keep things up, like I said, we should be in for a pretty good summer. And also, I got to say, before I move on from wrestling, a big RIP to Vader, to Big Van Vader, RIP, didn't get the opportunities that he deserved while he was in WWE or WWF at the time. But if you're a fan of Vader's, I'm sure everyone's always told you to go back and watch his stuff when he was in WCW, New Japan, everywhere else. Just an awesome heel, just a monster, a friggin' monster. And like I said, just go back and watch him on YouTube. It's great. And like I said, RIP to Vader. You will be greatly missed. And yeah, so before I move on, where's the last thing from sports. So it happened a little like last weekend. I know that, but I just really wanted to talk about the Phil Mickelson incident, where, if you're unfamiliar, he bent the rules, or he took advantage of the rules to help in his favor. And it's me and my dad and I got an argument about it, or not argument. We were having a big discussion about it. And I'm like, Phil knew what he was doing when he did that. For those of you who don't know, what he did was it's a big story. The course when they were playing on at the U.S. Open wasn't well tended to, and as a result, a lot of players were very frustrated with the conditions of the course, and it'd be the equivalent of like someone not taking care of a football field, and like people are slipping and falling. Or on a basketball court, maybe like the rims are loose, or like something, there's like, it's like basic stuff that should be taken care of wasn't taken care of on the course. And it was creating a lot of chaos and a lot of havoc for all the players and really messing things up. And so Phil Mickelson was they call it seesawing he just kept missing the putt, going back and forth, and he just got frustrated, missed the putt, and as it was rolling down the hill, he just ran over it and hit it. And you cannot hit a moving ball you can't hit a ball while it's moving. That's a 2-stroke penalty. He did it anyway, so that he could put it back closer to the pin and then chip it in, putt it in, move on to the next hole. It created a big controversy because he took advantage of the rules to get an edge, and in a game like golf, where it's built on so much on honor and respect to not just yourself, but to the game itself, the history of the game. You know, everyone was saying the same thing. They're like, would Arnold Palmer have done that? Would Jack Nicholson Would Jack Nicholson have done that? You know what I mean? Would Ben Hogan have done that? Like all these legends, like no, they would have done it. It'd be like saying, well, I guess it's a bad example for other sports because other sports cheated a lot more than golf, like baseball, basketball, a lot of cheating, and football, all that stuff too. So, but like I said, golf is a gentleman's sport, quote unquote. Like I said, a sport of honor and respect. So it created a lot of controversy, and like I said, we were going at it and stuff. People were talking about it, where it's like I said, it doesn't excuse what he did. But it's like a lot of people understand what he did because it was overall frustration from a culmination of things, and I think some people are saying that it'll tarnish his career. If it was anybody else, I think yes, that would have tarnished their career. But Phil Mickelson is lucky enough that he's been such a great golfer for so many years, that it won't be a full-on asterisk on his legacy. A la something like Pete Rose did, or like where Pete Rose is. A lot of people don't remember that Pete Rose was arguably one of the best baseball players ever. All they know about is that he gambled on baseball, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But like with Phil Mickelson, it's gonna get brought up, but I don't think it's going to, like I said, ultimately define his career. Like it won't define his life and his legacy by doing this, because first of all, he was complete. If he wasn't going to win the tournament anyway. He was already at like +9 over or something like that. But if he had done something like that to help him win a tournament, that's where I think, at least me personally, I think that's where it would have, tarnished his legacy. That's where it would have done it. You know what I mean? Because like I said, Phil knew he wasn't going to win that tournament. He knew he had no chance of winning. He just wanted to keep moving on, finish playing, get it over with, get the hell out of there. But like I said, if he had done that if he had cheated to win the tournament, like I said, that's where I think that would define him. And not just it was just an isolated incident, but it would really, really, really put him in the shit house. And like I said, that would have been way, 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 way worse for him to do that. But like I said, I talked about way too long about that. But especially that it's already old news. But like I said, I just wanted to talk about that, get that out there. So yeah, that was the last thing from sports. Moving on to some things with outside of sports. Just I gotta touch on it quickly. The death and the murder of XXXTentacion. Enough's already been said about this. Like I said, I just felt like it was such big news. I had to touch on it. But it just seems like there's no quote unquote air quotes right way to mourn his death. Because as talented and as influential and as important to a lot of people as he was musically, you cannot deny how horrible the things that he did. Not just like I said, it was the way that the disgusting things he did with his ex-girlfriend, the way he talked to people on Twitter and stuff. Like I said, it was there. Like I said, and like I said, it just seems like there's no right way to mourn him. Like I said, you. It's okay, but like I said, the best way, I guess, to process all of it, I guess, and I've seen is, it's okay to mourn his death because it's tragic. It's tragic anytime anyone dies, especially in the fashion that he died, and especially all the stuff you heard about how he's like trying to get better and trying to work on things and all the stuff he was trying to do in the community and all this different stuff he was trying to just get better as a person. And it's horrible to hear something like that happen, especially for someone as young as he was, only 20 years old, to have his life ended like that. And it's okay to mourn his death, but also don't forget to tell the whole story. Don't leave out important parts. They're dark and they're very bad, but they're very important to the overall story. So yeah, that's like I said, that's my 2 cents on it. That's just all I want to get out there. Moving on, big, 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 big stuff coming out of Paris and Fashion Week, as Virgil Abloh had his first fashion show for Louis Vuitton as the head of or lead designer for menswear, and it was great. It was a very, very important moment for the culture, and I'm not going to explain what the culture is, because if you need it to be explained to you, you're not a part of it. But for those who know how important that was, him, that video, that image of Virgil at the end hugging Kanye said it all. If you'd have told me in high school that, hey man, these guys would be, running the fashion world, that was a pipe dream. That was no way. There was no way that someone from streetwear culture was going to be dominating the fashion industry, the high fashion industry. And like I said, it was a great moment for that. Virgil Abloh, formerly or still with Off-White, formerly with Pyrex. He's been one of the creative guys with Kanye. Like I said, he did that. He had Kid Cudi in the fashion show. He had ASAP 12 in the fashion show. He had Steve Lacy in the fashion show. He had Bad Not Good playing the scoring it, in the background. Like I said, just a whole lot of stuff for the culture. You know what I mean? So, very important moment, very special moment. And like I said, it was great to see. It was really, really, really great. It was really inspiring as well for anyone out there. Especially for people of color to chase their dreams. Like I said, if you put in the work, you work hard. You know what I mean? And you trust yourself, you invest in yourself. Like I said, big things can happen. So it's very inspiring for myself. That's why I just needed to get back in the swing of things and just trying to make something out of this too. So shout outs to Virgil, shout outs to Louis Vuitton, shout outs to streetwear, shout outs to the culture. And gonna wrap this thing up here. Gonna end on kind of a solemn note, but over the last week, we've seen all the images and the videos and the audio of all the kids who have been taken away from their families, in the cages, in these holding shelters. Shelters is what they're calling them, but they're just locked up in cages, and just given space blankets for and like sleeping on like yoga mats with space blankets and all this stuff, and all this bullshit that the government and the Trump administration is spewing about all this stuff. It's all fucking bullshit. And Trump signed the document ending the separation of the families at these internment camps. These are internment camps, man. They're internment camps, and what they're doing is unconstitutional. It's immoral. It's unethical. It's not. It serves no place anywhere. And like I always tell everybody, and I've said it on this before, we are literally living through history where in the history books, our kids, our grandkids, when we are long gone, they're going to look back on this and say, what the hell was wrong with America that they let this shit happen? You know what I mean? Like they took so many steps backwards with all this shit. And it's just ridiculous. It's horrible. It breaks my heart. And we need to speak up. And this is what happens when we don't vote. We don't speak up. We don't let our voices be heard. And the bigots and all the trolls that were hiding behind computers let their voices be heard. And this is their ugly voice is now being heard by everyone around the world, and it's embarrassing. And we need to put a stop to it. So, everybody just needs to get their shit together, register to vote, rock the vote, go out there and vote, for these midterms, make a change. And just like I always say, just be the change you want to see in the world. It's enough. Talk isn't doing it anymore. There's no more time for thoughts and prayers. We got to go out there and make a difference and stop all this bullshit, man. Like I said, all you see is just all these hateful people now feel it's okay to be hateful. They were hiding because they know what they're doing is bad and they know what they're doing is wrong. And now they feel enabled to do so, and they're just spewing hate and spewing all this bigotry and racism and hatred, and it's disgusting. And like I said, we got to make a difference. So like I said, go out there and vote. And then I know some people do what you can to donate to these kids. Like I said, there's a lot of I've been trying to do it myself, but I want to make sure that I find the right place to do it, because I know a lot of these places are kind of scams and stuff like that. But like I said, just look for the right kind of places. If I find more of them, I'll try to post them and stuff. Just so, like I said, a reliable source, because I know a lot of places scam you and all that stuff, which is another horrible thing. But like I said, we got to get these kids out of there. We got to get these families back together, and we got to do everything we can to, just get things right in the world, man. Because especially here, because it's, like I said, it's embarrassing. That's the bottom line. It is just embarrassing what is happening. So, like I said, I'm sorry to end it on this note, but like I said, we have to do better, because we know that we can be better. So there's that. Like I said, I just wanted to get all caught up from everything that I missed. Catch you guys up with everything. Let you know where I stood on everything from this past week or so. And like I said, that's going to do it for me today. So like always, everybody, thank you guys for listening. Again, I apologize for not being around last week. For all my loyal fans out there, I don't know how many of you are out there, but again, thank you. I'll be back later this week, so make sure that you subscribe, follow all that bullshit on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, wherever else you can get your podcast needs. I'm there. Like I said, I'm working on getting on Spotify. So like I said, you can get on that. But also, if you go on SoundCloud or mainly iTunes, like leave reviews and stuff too. I guess those are good. So if you can, that'd be great. Leave reviews. That'd be cool. And then also if you want to follow along, you want to yell at me for how I feel about Trump. You want to yell at me for how I feel about the draft this year. You want to yell at me for anything, or if you just want to say what's up, follow along on all the socials: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr. Look for Brown Mamba Radio, Brown Mamba, my personal stuff, JXCKSXNNN. That's 3 N's. And always, everything's on the blog. Shout out to all the blog boys out there and blog girls, blog boys and blog girls. I don't think I don't see you out there, ladies. I see you. I see you out there grinding. All the lovely ladies out here, making a name for themselves in sports, giving these men a run for their money. Like I said, I see you, ladies. Don't think I don't see you. But yeah, shout out to all the blog boys and the blog girls, and everything's available on the blog on my website, brownmamba.us. So follow along there. Brought to you by Squarespace. The brownmamba.us is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace, holla at me. You already know I can do this. Holla at me, all right? I'm willing to work if you are. But yeah, so like I said, that's gonna do it for me today. Tune in with you guys later in the week for everything that happened from this past week. I believe the NBA awards are coming up soon. So like I said, look for that. What is it? July 1st, I believe, is when these different players have to announce whether they're going to opt in or out of their contracts to become free agents or not. So like I said, that's going to be happening this week. Like I said, and I'll try to bring that to you as it happens. Yeah, that's about it. Catching myself rambling now, so I'm gonna get out of here. Please, everybody, don't just have a good week, make it a good week. Drink more water. Health is wealth. It's getting hot out there. Like I said, drink more water. And please, everybody, please be kind to each other. It's easy to be nice. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.